Elvira is always surprised by women who do not strive to develop, do not look after themselves, are not interested in anything. Just live from day to day, not wanting to change. But they expect a prince on a white horse, necessarily rich and handsome, and do not think about the question and whether they themselves meet their needs. Elvira is married, she is 47, 2 children, already grown up, a good family. Her husband works in a motor transportation company. She has a close friend, Ira, 3 years younger, but she is not married and has never been in a serious relationship. How many times Elvira explained to her that it is necessary to live in step with the times, to be interested in something, to look after yourself, things stylish, makeup discreet. But Ira does not want to. She did not want and does not want to get education. She finished school and that's all. She works in a government agency with a modest salary, but she has a one-room apartment, inherited from her grandfather. When she comes to visit Elvira, she's always jealous, in a good way. Ilya, I envy you with white envy. What a great family you have, husband, children, everything is good. I really want a family. I'm already 44 and I'm lonely and unhappy. I was not even married. My years are passing by. Where can I find a man? Ask your husband. Maybe he has someone at work. Maybe he can introduce me. Okay, I'll ask him. Maybe he'll find a soulmate for you. In the evening, Elvira asked her husband if they had any free, normal men at work to introduce her friend. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. There are a couple of men, but one of them is a lover of women. But the second, Matvey, a normal and adequate man, divorced long ago. Matvey is a smart guy, works as a car mechanic. He has golden hands. Everyone wants to go to him for repairs. I'll tell him about your friend. Just Urka does not watch herself. Whether he likes her, men also pay attention to it. So she and her husband decided to do something about it, to marry off her friend Urka. The husband talked to Matvey. He agreed to meet her. The friend arrived, happy, and they decided to talk about their meeting. Ira inquired about Matvey's job. Elvira explained from her husband's words, of course. Matvey is your age, divorced, works as a car mechanic, her husband said. A smart man. With his head is friendly, and most importantly, without bad habits. Ira's face changed. Friend, what are you doing? Why do I need a car mechanic? No, I don't need a car mechanic. What kind of salary does he get? I need a solid man, money. It is better if the director of some kind, boss, smart and generous. Elvira was speechless. Well, my husband is also far from a director, just a car mechanic. He works, takes care of the family. You like our family. Not everyone should be directors. We love each other. I never adjusted to the invented standards. Frankly speaking, Ira, you're not a model either. Elvira did not want to quarrel with her friend, especially to lose a long-standing friendship. She had a question on her tongue. Why would a handsome, rich, and generous director, a successful man, not a young, uneducated, and average-looking woman? But she restrained herself and calmly said, well, if Matvey you do not need, we'll introduce him to Katya. And then he hopes to meet, uncomfortable somehow in front of him, promised. Of course I don't need him. I'm not waiting so long to marry a car mechanic. Ira was disappointed, as it seemed to Elvira, offended. But where to get a rich prince for her, although she herself is far from being a princess? Ira said that a classmate met recently, so she has a general husband. They live in St. Petersburg. And what an interesting woman she is. She has seen a lot of things. Elvira looked at her friend and was genuinely surprised. Apparently, Ira really does not look at herself in the mirror, that she has such an opinion about herself. But she said something completely different. IR, remember the movie? Moscow does not believe in tears. There Lyudmila says to her colleague, hear from me would be a real generaless, and the one in response to her. Before becoming a general, you need to marry a lieutenant, yes, to travel with him to garrisons. I think you should stop living in illusions and wait for a prince on a white horse. There are none. They've been taken away long ago, especially since you're not the first youth. Oh, friend, you'll say the same thing, but I have no children. I'm free. And before the date, we can go to a beauty salon. They'll make a beauty out of me. I don't need a car mechanic, period. My husband came home from work and asked me, well, have you agreed with Ira when she is going on a date? Because Matvey is waiting. You see, she does not like that Matvey is a car mechanic. She needs a rich and handsome director. Did you ask her if she looks at herself in the mirror? Maybe she's not right for Matvey either. And I don't have a director in stock. So tell your friend. And now what to say to Matvey? I cannot explain to him that the car mechanic is not suitable for our princess. Somehow, irritated husband said, Come on, let's call Katya. She agrees on the car mechanic. It doesn't matter to her as long as the person is good. She is completely different and is not looking for a director. Katya and Matvey are already married and living happily. Constantly thank Elvira and her husband for introducing them. Otherwise, they lived in the same city and did not know that somewhere near there are their soulmates. Elvira and her husband decided to celebrate 25 years of life together in a cafe. They invited friends, relatives, and colleagues. Katya and Matvey came, and of course Ira. When Ira saw Matvey next to Katya, she was almost speechless. Matvey was holding Katya's hand, handsome, tall, stylishly dressed, looking at him, and could not say that it was not the director. He looked at his wife tenderly. Ira's mood soured. How could she refuse such a man? It was fine that he was not the director, but he was handsome, just the standard of her dreams. She scolded herself that she refused to meet him without looking at him. She approached Elvira and said, Friend, why didn't you tell me that Matvey is so handsome? I missed out. It's the first time I've seen him myself, and Katya is very happy, and he keeps his eyes on her. She had something else she wanted to say to Ira, but she realized it was better to keep silent. Otherwise, their friendship would end, and Elvira was not the kind of person who lost friends easily. Elvira hugged her friend. Irochka, stop living illusions waiting for a prince. Life is running so fast, before we know it, here is already old age, so look around. Nearby can be a wonderful man, a janitor, mechanic, engineer. It does not matter, and not necessarily the director. And with mediocre appearance and modest income, but he may turn out to be your man, your soulmate. Ira listened to her friend, and she didn't know whether her words were getting through to her or not, but she kept her gaze on Matthew and Katya.